Hello Dreamers, welcome back to my channel. Today we finally start talking about Dreams 2. We are in a beta phase now, and more precisely release candidate. There is really not much left until the software becomes available to everyone. I would like to thank the Savage team for the opportunity they give me to preview the software. The wonderful thing is the group that has been created to support and advance the project, with all of us artists who are giving our contribution so that the software will be at its best when it's released. I remind you to like and comment, watch the video until the end if you are interested. Thank you so much. What we see today is a bird's eye view of the new features. Even if we have to talk about a completely new software, it's not to be clear about an update, but more of a rebirth. Yes, because not only the interface, the design and the positioning of the icons have changed, but also the workflow, which is now clearly divided into the drawing, composition and animation timeline parts. And the greatest introduction is right before your eyes with the new flipbook that will allow you to draw your animations frame by frame with the frames below and all the tools above. A bit like what happens in Procreate after all. If the top right part was already present in Dreams 1, we finally have the left part with the tools that we already know very well from Procreate. And finally the lasso tool. Now we can have fun selecting the whole world. And I would say that it was right to applaud. Even if honestly it's the thing that interests me the least at this point from how I learned to use Dreams. There are really much more interesting things that are coming with the new update, especially in the whole part of the drawing, filters and the luminosity masks, with which we will surely be able to create new incredible effects. But let's start by seeing and understanding the new interface first of all. We find these three buttons here that separate the workflow, compared to this part that we found in Dreams 1. As I'm about to show you in Dreams 2, this part has more options, but basically the position has changed. Positioning which, to be honest, at the moment doesn't drive me crazy, because it covers a bit of the timeline, which is already quite complicated in itself, with all the levels and groups, but this will surely be resolved. But what exactly is this compose mode? It's a mode that allows us, for example, to deform the drawn shapes, but without intervening on the keyframes of the timeline. As you can see, if I then press play, the whole group containing the skeleton is deformed. For example, if I have made a walking cycle, like in this case, and I want to copy the same animation to another position, I can do it without having to modify the keyframes, but simply by moving the shape in Compose. As you can see, I duplicated the skeleton and move it here, for example. This way I won't have to correct the coordinates through keyframes, but simply move and resize the group. To understand if there will be the possibility of having a magnetic snapping like on Procreate, it would be really useful. Let's quickly skip over the performance mode, which we use very well. Once selected, if I press it again, I can change the intensity. This is basically what happened on Dreams 1. And as far as its functioning is concerned, I haven't noticed any difference so far, even if the result seems better to me, but perhaps this due to the new engine. The keyframe mode instead will allow us to work on our drawings by modifying and animating them, as we already know, even if there are some new features that I will tell you about shortly. I hope you understand how these icons work, but let's move on to finding the plus button, which is definitely more advanced. The most important new feature here is obviously the addition of the flipbook, where we can finally create our own animations, for example character animations, visual effects, etc. The drawing mode, which I already imagine will be mainly used to create backgrounds, in short, all those elements that will serve to frame our animations. We then find the possibility to add the text and new tracks. But let's see the flipbook. If, for example, I'm in this position and I decide to add an animation flipbook, I press here and add a flipbook. The flipbook opens directly, where I can work and draw the frames I need. If I click on the top left and go back, as you can see I have added the flipbook above, without obviously deleting anything else. It's a bit like a group of frames that Dreams creates directly for us to facilitate the workflow. To work on the flipbook, I press Edit and go directly back on the previous screen. For example, if I want to create a small animation, I take a brush. There are also new brushes for animation that we'll all get to know over time. Let's try this. Obviously, I will make a very fast animation. I would say that, however, I have to change the opacity of the onion skin. The previous frame is not very visible. Setting, onion skin, and I increase opacity. Okay, now you can see better. Let's go frame by frame with this beautiful animation. I don't know what I'm doing exactly, but it's definitely going to be quick. Very quick. Too quick. To change the duration of each single frame so that the animation becomes slower, I press this icon, which allows me to select all the frames. As you can see, they are all selected. I could also decide to move them. But if I press on a frame, that arrows open in this way. I just have to drag to extend the duration of the frames in the timeline. Okay, let's try like this. Now I go back to the timeline, and as you can see, the animation is now much slower. Obviously we'll see the flipbook well when I will start to make many frame by frame animations. But one thing that I find really interesting is this. For example, in this group where I have many layers and animations in rig, for the skeleton's walking cycle I created a doll, essentially that I then animated with the keyframe. I have the fantastic opportunity to turn this group into a flipbook. Obviously, the bigger and more complex the animation, the longer it will take. At this point, the whole group is converted into a flipbook, and essentially into a single track which first of all goes to lighten the engine. As you can see, all the animation frames are here. For me, this is a really important innovation. It will allow me to work calmly and peacefully by increasing the number of tracks in the timeline, but not only for character animations, but for example, with the addition of much more complex special effects. For example, if I want to create an explosion with lots of pieces jumping left and right, I will be able to do it without weighing down the engine. By transforming the group into a flipbook, it will obviously be possible to then modify each individual drawing, for example by distorting the shape. The range of options in this way multiplies beyond measure. For example, the possibility of working more quickly with dynamic shadows comes to mind. but we'll certainly see this later. We can then use drawing tools like the lasso tool to further modify our drawings. But let's move on with the other elements of the interface. We find this icon, which is simply the selection tool for the timeline, this time on the left compared to Dreams 1. It allows us to select groups and layers. As you can see, there are a few options available here too, such as grouping elements, inverting them, turning them into flipbooks, or changing the blending mode. Another interesting new feature is the ability to change the size of the interface if necessary, if we want to see our animation better. Or, as in my case, if you have a lot of tracks and want to make some order. Regarding keyframe talk, finally, we can copy and paste each of them. This, I guarantee, will increase the speed of your work by at least 5 times. For example, I have this keyframe that I want to copy exactly with the same coordinate and scale settings, and finally I just have to select, copy and paste it where I want in the timeline. As you can see, with the exact coordinates of the previous keyframe. And it's not over, because I can finally also select multiple keyframes together and copy them both to another point in the timeline. Select this, ok, copy, and arrange here. I know it was possible in all the other software in the world, but it was finally landed here on Dreams too. To show you better, let's take as an example this animation made with movement and scale keyframes. I want to create a loop. I just need to select all the keyframes, copy it and paste it, for example, here. This way I have two identical animations. This allows me to quickly create looping animations, or better yet, animations that have the exact same keyframes. But let's go back to the interface. In this icon in the center we find all the project settings, but what's even more interesting is that we can finally export the files in GIF. This kind of project is not meant to be a GIF, but I tried something really interesting once saved to the files. And save. Replace. OK. Now I'm going to open Procreate and import the file. No, I go to the files first, and the file is imported directly into Procreate as a sequence of images. And play. Now I have imported this animation on Procreate with this dithering effect. Dithering that, as we'll see, we can modify in the advanced settings on Dreams. So, if we go to the advanced video settings, I can first change the format, and the one we are most interested is the GIF, which allows us to export the files without a background. Dreams will take a while to render everything, but this will also depend a lot on the machine you use. However, here we find all the settings that concern the GIF. Dithering, for example, is a dotted effect that we often see in GIF. We can obviously decide the intensity of the effect and the direction. For now I see that there is some delay in rendering the effect at this point, but if I try to export the file, the effect becomes visible in the preview. Here it is. Honestly, I still don't know if it depends on the size of the file or the frame rate, but I'll do some tests to verify how it works. We then find the possibility, as I was telling you, to export the file without a background. This is really fundamental. In a technical jargon, the file is exported with the alpha so that the background is not black but transparent. Here you see the file without the background. Obviously need to work on the alpha intensity for a correct export. Returning to the main settings, we find the possibility to change the size of the project, the frame and the duration, although the duration can now be changed directly from the timeline, simply by stretching here. This I think is very useful and speed up the workflow. Stage, I can change the background color or if I want it transparent, and I have all the options of the onion skin. Timeline, I can decide what the playback mode is. While I'm working, I generally use the loop. So if I go to a portion of the timeline and press play, that scene will play in a loop. This feature is really useful in the workflow because I have to watch every single sequence hundreds of times to understand if it works and where there are may be errors. Surely, as soon as I finish editing the video, I will think of 1,000 other things to tell you. But for now, I'd say that's enough for today. And don't go out on a limb and say, wow, we finally have what we needed. There are still many options missing, especially in the drawing part, such as drawing guide or the possibility of selecting a shape, which at the moment cannot be done. But I'm sure of one thing, it's an incredible new beginning and I finally see the light that I wasn't expecting, because I was already happy with Dreams 1, but probably many were waiting for it. So will there be an army of dreamers coming? I really hope so, because there is a lot of power in here, and as someone said, the power of the sun in the palm of our hands. Thank you so much for watching, and